Since 2018, I've built multiple online businesses that have generated hundreds of thousands of dollars. But my biggest regret during my creative journey is that I procrastinated for 7 years to start a YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to go through the 7 pitiful excuses that I've made for myself over the last 7 years that caused me to stall out on starting this very YouTube channel. I will also tell you why my excuses were 100% avoidable, irrational, and frankly, complete and utter nonsense. So if you're watching this video, I'm willing to bet that maybe you've made a few of the exact same self-sabotaging excuses for yourself that I have. If that's the case, keep watching and I'll tell you exactly how to overcome these crippling cop-outs and start publishing videos right away. Let's dive in. So my first excuse why I procrastinated for 7 years to start a YouTube channel is I got too comfortable being a blogger. So I've made my living over the last 7 years as a blogger and it's gone quite well. I've been able to work remotely from wherever I want without a boss and pick my own hours for 7 years running. And I've gotten very, very comfortable doing so. But I always knew in the back of my mind that I'd rather be doing YouTube instead of blogging. Though I'm a writer at heart, I always knew I wanted to pursue a more creative medium to express myself. Video would allow me to connect with my audience on a more conversational level and share more of my personality with them. But for 7 years, I continued hiding behind my keyboard instead of getting in front of the camera. And I'd convinced myself that stepping outside of my box to start a YouTube channel would make me feel really, really uncomfortable. And I was right, it would have, but as we all know by now, the quickest path to growth is by forcing yourself into very uncomfortable situations. So because I refused to embrace the discomfort of starting a YouTube channel, I resisted meaningful change and stunted my growth for years and years and years. Not good. So if you yourself feel too comfortable in your current situation to start YouTube, remember this. Starting YouTube is supposed to make you feel vulnerable and awkward. That is the whole point. Starting a channel is an opportunity to mix up your comfortable but boring life and try something fresh and exciting. So I implore you to run towards that weird and uncertain feeling and embrace the pain that comes along with learning something new. It's working for me so far. So my second excuse why I procrastinated for 7 years to start a YouTube channel is I didn't want to start from scratch. So as I mentioned earlier, I had a good thing going being a self-employed blogger these last 7 years. But the problem is I used my experience as a blogger as a big reason not to start learning YouTube, which to me would have felt like starting over from square one. Why should I give up something proven, blogging, to learn an entirely new skill, YouTube, when the outcome of doing so is so uncertain? Well, that's the exact attitude that stopped me from starting a YouTube channel for so many years. I didn't want to start from scratch. Because I wasn't willing to start from scratch, I got stuck in a decaying blogging industry, feeling more and more stagnant and unfulfilled with every new article. All because I resisted learning a new skill. But the truth is, the more I got into YouTube, the more I realized that my blogging experience definitely means I'm not starting at zero. I already know how to write a solid script. I already understand how to optimize my writing for the algorithms. I know how to research competitors, find what ideas are working, and build something uniquely my own. The truth is, I am definitely not starting from scratch with YouTube. I am building off an existing skill that will push me forward in this industry. And the same is likely true for you. Even if you're not a blogger like I am, you probably have a unique perspective, talent, or ability that will help you slash the learning curve as a YouTuber. Are you comfortable in front of a camera? If so, you are definitely not starting from scratch. Do you have a skill or a hobby that people are passionate about? If so, you are definitely not starting from scratch. Do people look to you frequently for advice? If so, you are not starting from scratch. So before you tell yourself you are starting from scratch, take a second to think about what existing skills you can bring to the YouTube table. Chances are there's a little something there you can lean on while you figure out the rest. So my third excuse why I procrastinated for 7 years to start a YouTube channel is filming myself made me feel self-conscious. So out of all the poor excuses I made to myself over the years, this is perhaps the lamest of them all. For example, here are a few of the self-sabotaging things I've told myself over the years. You are awkward in front of the camera. You are going to stumble over your words and come across as a weirdo. You look different on video than you do in the mirror, and your voice sounds different too, and that is definitely not good. Your life really isn't that exciting, so why would you bother sharing it with the world? No matter what you produce, someone else has already done it better. So this hypercritical internal dialogue I had with myself made hitting record, staring into my camera, and filming a video feel fucking impossible for years. But why? Because I was an insecure overthinker who let my own inner critic win. That's why. So you ask, how did I finally overcome my insecurity and get in front of the camera? I started hitting record on my camera and speaking into it with zero intention of publishing anything. I would read from a book in front of the camera, hold my baby in front of the camera, speak gibberish to the camera, practice making eye contact with the camera. You name it, I did it. I would hit the record button with no pressure or expectations at all. I would do some random shit in front of the camera, I would watch my clips, delete them, make adjustments, and I would do it all over again. I'd also work on writing scripts to reference when I spoke into the camera, which took a ton of the pressure off me to say the right thing off the cuff or from memory. And, wouldn't you know it, after about a week of messing around in front of the camera and writing scripts, I wasn't self-conscious anymore. So here we are. I'm sitting here speaking into the camera confidently. I am not nervous. I swear to God I'm not nervous. A week of practice is all it took for me to overcome 7 years of anxiety. Fucking hell. So if you feel self-conscious in front of your camera, here's my advice. Do exactly what I did. Set up your camera on a tripod, press record with zero expectations, practice staring into the lens and speaking as if you were talking to a friend. Write scripts, make adjustments, and most importantly, don't stop until you overcome your self-doubt. You're going to be fine. So my fourth excuse why I procrastinated for 7 years to start a YouTube channel is I wanted everything to be perfect before I started. So I'm going to let you inside my mind again as I run through 5 of the crippling perfectionist reasons that prevented me from actually starting YouTube. 1. I didn't completely understand all of my camera's settings yet. 2. I hadn't mastered lighting yet. 3. I had no idea how to edit videos yet. 4. I didn't own all the right gear yet, and I'm obsessed with gear. I'm a gear nerd. Can't help myself. 5. I completely hadn't figured out what my niche would be yet, and for whatever reason, I let these excuses win, because I tend to feel vulnerable about putting things out into the universe that don't feel 100% polished. But as you may have guessed it, this is the worst possible approach for starting a YouTube channel. By needing everything to be perfect, every minor obstacle felt like a dead end for me. Nothing ended up happening. I wasn't filming anything, I wasn't editing anything, and I certainly wasn't publishing anything. My perfectionism led to overthinking, which led to complete and utter inaction. And as one of my favorite YouTubers says, inaction is a slow death. Do you feel like you're dying as a content creator? Because I do sometimes. But there's hope, I swear. If you are a fellow perfectionist who hasn't started YouTube because they need the stars to align perfectly first, I get you, I understand. But as we all know, the stars rarely ever align. So quit fucking waiting for them to align. Write a script, hit record, and put something imperfect into the universe. Think of your first YouTube video as a necessary first step towards your goal of producing the perfect video. Sure, it's a bummer your first video won't be perfect, but you'll never achieve perfection without firing off a bunch of imperfect videos into the void. Just kidding, nothing you ever create will ever be perfect, ever. I'm sorry. So, my 5th excuse why I procrastinated for 7 years to start a YouTube channel is I compared myself to YouTubers with lots and lots and lots of followers. So, for years I watched Ali Abdaal, Better Ideas, James Smith, Gabe Bolt, Mark Manson, countless others. And I thought to myself, I am so far away from producing anything of that quality, why should I even bother trying? And let me tell you, buddy, this approach never ends well either, especially if you use it as an excuse to procrastinate for years and years and years like I did. And although I don't really think I need to explain to you why this line of thinking is completely delusional, I'm going to anyway. So after watching this video, go visit any of your favorite big-time YouTubers' channels and check out a few of their first videos. What you will likely see is that their content isn't very polished at all. They're probably a little awkward in front of the camera. Their lighting is off. They ramble on and they try and go off the cuff. They don't quite know if this YouTube thing is going to work out, and their viewers likely don't either. They were beginners doing beginner things, and they were full of the exact same self-doubt you are. But they kept making videos and putting their reps in. And lo and behold, their camera presence, their messaging, production, editing, lighting, video quality, everything got better with each upload. And as their skills grew, so did their audience. So what I'm trying to say here is that everyone, yourself included, must start from scratch. Everyone must nervously film and publish their first video thinking, I have made a huge mistake. So if Ali Abdaal can go from filming awkward music videos with his friends to becoming one of the most respected YouTubers in the industry, you can enjoy some success too, as long as you stop comparing yourself to the best in the business and start focusing on what you can do to improve your content. So if you're feeling a bit underqualified as you watch your favorite YouTubers pump out incredible content and pile up subscribers, know that they likely felt the exact same way you do at some point during their journey. The only difference is between them and you is that they pushed through the discomfort and self-doubt and you haven't yet. I haven't yet either, so don't worry about it. My sixth excuse why I procrastinated for 7 years to start a YouTube channel is, the longer I waited to start, the more of a mental obstacle it became. So procrastinating something for a few weeks is one thing, but waiting 7 whole years to do the thing is a different beast altogether. See, every day I spent not starting a YouTube channel was me casting a vote for doing the same old shit and making the same old excuses for inaction that I always have. If we do some light math, over the last 7 years, I have cast roughly 2,555 votes not to start a YouTube channel. The more votes I cast towards inaction in my life, the more I started to believe that this inaction was just a part of my identity. The pile of votes led me to believe that I am not someone who makes YouTube content, even though making YouTube content is something I wanted to do for a very long time. But not all hope was lost. See, this video is me casting a vote towards turning over the new leaf that is YouTube. And I'm well aware that I need to continue casting these votes and defying the inaction that plagued me for so long if I want to destroy the mental barrier that has held me back for years and years and years. So, if my whole "the longer you wait, the harder it becomes" situation sounds all too familiar, start casting votes for a different outcome. Cast a vote for writing your first YouTube script. Cast a vote for standing in front of the camera and pressing record. Cast a vote for tinkering around on that video editing software that's been sitting around unused. Cast a vote towards breaking the ice and publishing your first video. Excuse me. So my seventh and final excuse why I procrastinated 7 years to start a YouTube channel is I simply didn't prioritize starting a YouTube channel. So when I first tried out the online entrepreneur thing, I prioritized learning writing, SEO, blogging, web design, social media, etc. I prioritized drifting aimlessly around the world, living out of hostels and staring at my laptop in faraway lands. I prioritized chasing hiking and backpacking trails and obsessing over gear. I prioritized drinking with friends, sleeping late, falling short of the very vague expectations I set for myself. I prioritized spending as much time on YouTube as humanly possible instead of actually contributing to it in any way. I'm not saying that some of my priorities didn't make sense and didn't benefit me directly. No doubt, I've done some cool things and I've picked up some tangible skills over the past 7 years. But I didn't prioritize starting a YouTube channel enough to actually do it. YouTube was always on the back burner until I finally put the pressure on myself and started making this channel a top priority. I set up a studio in the spare bedroom. I got my lighting figured out. I started writing scripts and I started speaking into the camera. I learned how not to be an awkward weirdo. And most importantly, I made a commitment to stop being a perfectionist and to ship videos as soon as I filmed them, without edits. Hence the name of this channel. I made all the necessary steps to force myself into starting my YouTube channel. And here I am, in front of the camera, speaking to you on YouTube. So the lesson here is that the moment you prioritize something is the moment that things actually start happening. You can't expect your aspirations to magically fall into place if you leave them on the back burner and ignore them as I did for so many years. We are not living in some sort of fantasy land where someone else puts in all the work and starts the YouTube channel for you. That shit just does not happen. So if starting your YouTube channel is important to you, make it a top priority in your life. Take actionable steps to start moving forward. Start brainstorming video ideas and start writing scripts. Pencil in some time on your calendar to start filming. Drag some random clips into video editing software and start getting familiar with it. Actually make starting YouTube a priority. Put meaningful energy towards it and see what happens. Stop waiting for the perfect time to get started, because the perfect time to start is as soon as fucking possible. So that's it. Those are the 7 reasons I procrastinated for 7 years to finally start my YouTube channel. And just so we're clear, all of the excuses that I made to justify my years upon years of inaction are complete and utter nonsense. And let's face it, if you've made it this far into the video, you are probably making some of the exact same excuses for yourself that I did. And let me tell you, the only way out of this mess is to break down each and every excuse in detail, confront the faulty reasoning that lies beneath it, expose what you uncover as bullshit, put yourself in front of the damn camera, and hit record. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.